Hi guys, welcome back to PBTV, and we have another little bit of a sort of platform showcase today. So in front of me I have another one of the Delta Armory's rifles. These are all the same, they're just different variants of the same rifle, so we thought we'd get them out and have a little chat, because we realised that we haven't actually looked at the PAR yet. So there is the 10, the 12, the 14 and the 16. That's the name. They might be slight, it's reference to the sort of overall length of them. So we have a 10 inch, a 12 inch, a 14 and a 16 inch. But the 14, maybe 14 and a half and things like that, but it's just for ease of naming purposes. Apart from that, all these are identical. So we have built the 10-inch version up to have a little look at what it could look like in your armory and how something like this would be set up in its real world sort of counterpart. Some of the others are leaning more towards that marksman style. All of them are the same, so they are all MOSFETted and can be controlled very, very well. So if you are wanting to build these up into a certain platform, one of these will be able to fit that criteria for you. So as always with these, we'll start at the front and work our way back and then deep dive into what's inside the gearbox. So as you can see, we've thrown some accessories on this, and on the front we have thrown a can. Normally it comes with the standard like 5.56 bird cage that you see on many ARs, but underneath that there is a 40mm counterclockwise thread that we've taken off and just put a can on the front, because with this look it just matches really nice. The barrel length and the rail length all looks really sort of aggressive and nice, and even with a can on, this is going to be really cool in CQB, especially with the functions that this has internally as well. Coming back, we have that piston style front end. So we have a slightly higher top and a quad rail system. So we've got RIS on the top, bottom, left and right. Nice short 10-inch rail for plenty of accessories, grip, mounts, torches. Obviously we've thrown the PEC box on the top just to keep it simple, but loads of real estate on the front of this thing to do whatever you want with. Again, you can adjust these around. There are no T markings or R markings on these, so when you are swapping out, if you've got different loadouts for indoors, outdoors, you'll just have to sort of slightly adjust and test where these things go. There's no indicators on these, they are just blank rails. Coming back, we do have another part of CNC, so the rail is CNC'd aluminium along with the receiver. So this thing is, there is a lot of metalwork in this, and it does come out a little bit heavy, so just over 2.5 kilos, but it is CNC'd aluminium, so it's not out of this world heavy. I am a big fan of this receiver as well. Really sort of angular, aggressive, very modern, very neatly done as well. The tolerances and the build quality on this are incredible. There's very little rattle or shake to this thing, but having that CNC'd receiver as well, all the etchings and the markings for the PROARMS are all deep etch engraved, meaning this thing does look really clean and neat. Control wise, very standard. It is slightly right-handed dominant, so we do have the mag release on the right hand side. That'll drop the 120 round mid-cap magazine that's included. On the left hand side we do have the fire selector, so we've got the standard, safe, semi and full auto that you get on standard ARs, but this is ETU driven inside. So when you do take the stock off, there's a little QR code on the cable showing you how you can control that just with trigger pulls. So you pull in the trigger, going into your cascading menu settings with different buzzers and beeps. Once you want to come out of it, you just click it the right way. It's all scannable on there, and it just shows you on the phone what the order is. Again, burst mode, binary, precocking, all that good stuff can be controlled just with your trigger mid-game if you need to. If you feel like you're burning through too many rounds with your sort of full auto or things, you could drop a burst in there, change it to binary, all that stuff. So again, allowing you to sort of control this thing as much as you want, even electronically turning it into a DMR, obviously out the box. These are about 330 FPS, so if you're wanting to increase that, will be a spring change, but you can electronically lock these. So the 16-inch is definitely a really good candidate for a DMR platform with a little bit of work. So as I've said, it does come with that 120 round mid-cap magazine and the standard AR style grip. Obviously on the top, more RIS going all the way on the upper receiver. We've thrown the holographic and the magnifier. It's just the classic look with this style of platform, the sort of piston driven style system, with it being the sort of operator platform of choice in recent years. It's just that really nice clean look. The charging handle opens the port, and it gives you a rotary style hop. You'll hear me harp on about them all the time in these reviews. The rotary hops are really, really good for keeping that consistency whilst you're playing. So the standard sort of gear or linear hop adjustment, they can adjust slightly when you put in a few hundreds or thousands of rounds through it in a day, so there can be a slight adjustment. With the gear, with the rotary style ones, it just can't actually adjust it. The movement of the BB can't affect it, so your hop is going to be identical all days. Again, 2/8 with this, it just absolutely sends them. We've done a couple of range videos before on our outdoor range, and these things are keeping up with some of the best stuff, so you can quite easily reach out just standard to that 50-60 meter mark quite consistently, and being able to hop them heavier sort of reasonable BBs, them 2/8s, maybe even 3s. You're not going to be affected by wind as much as well. So outdoors, you're going to be able to keep in that fight, engage targets from further, longer distance, and with the controls that you have at your disposal with the burst, the binary, you'll be able to put that fire down and definitely win that firefight with reasonable ease with this thing, because it is very, very accurate. Internally, the 10-inch one has a 260mm tight bore barrel. It's a 6.03, and that just goes up in length with all the other ones. They've all got tight bore barrels in them. It's just slightly different lengths with the sort of 10, 12, 14, and 16 variant. And again, with it being a tight bore, the FPS may be slightly higher in the 16, maybe sort of 10, 15 more. So you might be around that 340 with that. But if you are wanting to do that DMR of 400 FPS or whatever your site allows, it will need a spring change. But it just gives you absolute options with this sort of range. The PAR, the Mark III, just has a little sort of toe in every single option. You've got the CQB platform, you've got two sort of carbine ARs that are same length rail and body wide, slightly different barrel size, and then the 16 has the full length rail and barrel. They've all got the same stock, so we've got the 6-position stock on here with QD sling points. We've got the loop sling point at the back here as well, so loads of different ways to sling this thing. Recommending 7.4s for this. Again, this is purely because of our power limits, nothing to do with the MOSFET or the build of these things. It is purely to prevent pre-engagement with the spring not resetting the piston fast enough. So these things with the binary and with the MOSFET that's in these, more than capable of keeping up in that firefight with a 7.4. So very, very impressed with these things. Had a couple of the times had these on the range, and just the trigger response and the options that you have on the MOSFET in this are really, really good. So you're looking for something extremely modern, unique, because this is the PROARMS licensed product from Delta Armories. So it is a only available from them, so you're after something modern, aggressive, angular. The CNC'd alley is finished beautifully, and you want to build something into what is reminiscent of a sort of tier 1 platform right now. This is definitely the option. So this is the Delta Armory PROARMS PAR Mark III, and they're available in 10, 12, 14, and 16-inch variants. Apart from that, they're all identical internally, so you can jump on these now. They're available on the website right now, so if you want to grab one, please do so. But as always, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. If there's anything you want us to look at, please drop a comment down below, and we'll try and fit it into our schedule. Apart from that, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in a bit. Bye.